Free, a podcast that illuminates the pathway to true freedom. This is your host, Laura Jane Haver. I am a passionate freedompreneur and a freedom and empowerment coach, helping others heal and liberate themselves from the inside out so they can live an empowered life of deep fulfillment, true north alignment, and freedom. I am also here to support light leaders, paradigm shifters, change makers, and aspiring freedompreneurs who hear the call to create their own true north aligned, heart-centered, soulful businesses and share their authentic truth to serve their mission. Hello, welcome back. I am so happy you're here with me. Today we are talking about self-suppression because to be free is to free yourself from self-suppression. To be free is to speak and live your truth, to show the world who you truly are, to stand up for what you believe in, what you value, what lights a fire within your heart, what you're awakening to, and rising up to your soul mission. I am so passionate about overcoming the fear of speaking your truth and unsuppressing yourself because this is something I have been deeply healing for a few years now, and I'm still healing it. Ever since I answered the call to leave my 9-year corporate career to become a healer, a coach, and a business owner, this fear has surfaced to be healed. Because in this realm, you have to be seen and express the art of your heart and the song of your soul in order to serve your people. But I know so many of us in this space, in the healing and coaching and self-development space, are having a challenging time speaking our authentic truth and unsuppressing ourselves because of fear. I actually have a podcast about this. It's episode 2, Overcoming the Fear of Speaking Your Truth. It's a 30-minute episode. I highly recommend listening to it when you have some free time. In this episode, I dive deep into all the reasons why we carry this fear within our energetic bodies and how to transcend it and conquer the fear. And this fear is not the fear of being seen, because we all crave to be fully seen. Ever since we're young children, we want people to see us. We crave support and applause and approval. But often in this process, seeking support, applause, and approval, we suppress the real us, the most authentic, soulful us. And it's because we live in this society and culture that conditions us to suppress parts of ourselves and dim down facets of our being in order to be accepted, validated, and to gain approval and to fit in. And our nervous system is wired for safety and acceptance and to be part of the tribe. So we often don't feel safe speaking and living our authentic truth if we feel like it might result in disapproval, judgment, criticism, or rejection. And so our nervous system will respond with heaviness, anxiety, nervousness, throat chakra blockages, solar plexus chakra blockages, sacral chakra blockages. It can just feel way safer and calm for our nervous system to hide or play pretend or wear a facade or suppress our voice or follow a path that isn't aligned with our truth and isn't in resonance with what we truly want just because it's accepted by the majority and it feels safe. So the fear is really, it's not the fear of being seen. It's the fear of how our truth and our voice will be received and perceived by others. There is a fear of judgment, ridicule, rejection, being canceled, losing people, perceived persecution. There's a fear of people thinking we're weird or crazy or cringe or whatever. And this feels scary because we crave to be accepted, validated, and loved and supported. And let me tell you, there is nothing worse than writing something and sharing something and expressing something from your heart, sharing something vulnerable, or sharing the art of your heart and soulful expression out loud with the world, and then people responding with silence, judgment, ridicule, or maybe they get triggered and decide to cancel you or send you unsolicited criticism. It can make us feel like there's something wrong with us and our authentic self-expression. But here's the thing. There is nothing wrong with us when we are expressing our truth in the art of our heart. It's a calling. And as we answer this higher calling, there is an initiation that is designed to make us stronger and more resilient. And when we start expressing our authentic truth and unsuppressing ourselves, there is a shift in our vibration and our resonance shifts. Resonance is so real. Those who resonate with you and your authentic self-expression are a vibrational match. And these people will find you, and they will hear you, and they will see you. Those who are not in resonance with your authentic self-expression are not a vibrational match, and they may drift away. And this isn't personal. It's a vibration, it's frequency, it's a level of consciousness, it's resonance, it's universal law in motion. Also, here is a fact. There are some of us living in the paradigm where we are doing the self work, the deep, deep inner work. We're on deep healing journeys, healing generational trauma, inner child wounding. We're diving into our shadows and facing the darkness to transmute it into light. We're alchemizing our pain into power and our breakdowns into breakthroughs. We're still using our triggers as teachers to teach us where we still carry wounding and where we still feel unfulfilled or suppressed in our own lives. We're shifting our beliefs and upleveling our mindsets. And we're letting go of our anger and resentments and beginning to live heart-centered. We're dedicating our lives to our personal development and inner healing. And this healing journey is a calling. We hear a call to end the suffering we feel within, to step out of victim consciousness, and to heal ourselves so that we can heal the suffering going on in the world, as within, so without. And on these healing journeys, many of us are hearing higher callings to create our own true north aligned, soulful, heart centered businesses. We hear the call to become a coach, a self development teacher, or a healer. So we're connecting with others doing the same. We're finding others in resonance with us. We are in resonance with the other awakening souls that hear the same call to heal ourselves and help others heal. And so, because we're all in resonance, we follow each other on social media. We listen to each other's podcasts and meditations. We take each other's courses and offerings. We're working with one another, acting as mirrors for one another. We're all healing and rising up together to live a more empowered, aligned, liberating, fulfilling life. And so, as I've been on this journey, 95% of the accounts I follow on Instagram are people who inspire me and are authentically expressing themselves and serving their mission and doing similar things as me. But many people do not live in this paradigm. They aren't on self-healing journeys. They aren't doing inner work. They aren't working with coaches, healers, or self-development teachers, and they're definitely not following them on social media. And they're not in tune with using social media as a platform for authentic self-expression, nor building a soul-aligned community or heart-centered business where you can easily connect with soul-aligned clients and soul family. And they aren't using social media for healing, nor to create. So when you show up in front of these people, they might just not get it. I had a former business Instagram page and also a personal, and I was using the business page for my business and personal for just personal. But I had a deep reflection earlier this year that I did this to hide because of the fear of how my truth and my authentic self-expression would be perceived and received by people from my past or family members. So this past spring, I decided to shift everything to my personal Instagram account because I am me and my mission is mine and my expression is mine. And I shouldn't be hiding from people from my past or family members. It just didn't feel good. So as soon as I started showing up with my soul-aligned expression on my personal account, sharing my mission with the intention to empower, inspire, uplift, and connect human to human, I received beautiful feedback and encouragement, but I also received a little bit of everything I was scared of. I received some unsolicited criticism, judgment, perceived persecution, and ridicule. And also, one of my fears is triggering people or rubbing people the wrong way. And that happened. And when I say that happened, this is two people. So, one, like, we have this fear about expressing ourselves authentically because of how people will respond and react and perceive. But we have to realize that the fear is so much bigger than the reality. So I'll just share my story. When I started unsuppressing my expression and expressing myself on my personal account, someone from my past who I would barely call an acquaintance, who I haven't seen or spoken to in 10 years, who I didn't even realize still followed me on Instagram, told me he sent me a message telling me that no one wanted to hear what I had to say and it was unwanted and nauseating. And of course, this stung in the moment. Then someone else a few weeks later was so triggered by my messages around freedom, alignment, and freedompreneurship that they felt the need to tell me in person that they don't believe in anything I'm saying and that I don't have any credibility. And then they also started judging my character. And this is someone I've only been around a handful of times over the past year, who I barely know and who barely knows me and has no idea about my personal healing journey or my life's work. So I was caught totally off guard. Then one of them proceeded to go give my podcast a 1-star review, which stung for about a couple days because this person is not in resonance with my spiritual work, my messages, my mission. So, they're not a soul-aligned client nor listener. So they should have never listened to an episode just to give it a 1-star rating to attempt to dim down their own pain. And listen, some people are in pain and it feels good to project onto others. And they don't want to go on a healing journey or be coached. They don't want to be inspired, and that's okay. It's easier to choose to be triggered. And often it's easier to blame others for your triggers instead of realizing triggers live within us. When you're triggered, something within you is being triggered, a wound, a void, an insecurity, and it's making itself known so that it can be healed. And I'm sharing this because when these people express their triggers to my authentic self-expression and soul mission, I was triggered at first. And that revealed to me that I still carried a wound. And this wound was a fear about being criticized. And I still carried the fear of people perceiving me in a negative light. And I still carried this need to receive approval and validation. And so I realized that I was making my soul work too much about me and how I was perceived, because my higher calling is bigger than me. It's bigger than me. It's not about me. So it doesn't matter how people perceive and receive me. I have a calling to deliver these messages and share them with the world to help people heal and liberate themselves from the inside out, to live a life of deep fulfillment, true north alignment, and freedom. It's not about me. It's about helping others and serving others. So here's also what I want to share today. This fear of rejection, judgment, criticism, triggering others that was causing me to suppress myself. When the reality came into form, it wasn't so bad. The fear of speaking our truth and being seen authentically and standing up for our mission is always going to feel heavier than the reality. Our purpose is bigger than our fear. When we begin to unsuppress ourselves and express our authentic expression with the world and serve our mission, we have to be strong enough to receive a bit of judgment, unsolicited criticism, ridicule, and we have to be strong enough to be misunderstood and to hold 0-point neutrality and not take anything personally and instead be an observer. This is so important when it comes to unsuppressing ourselves and speaking our truth to the world. We have to be warriors of truth, of our own authentic self-expression. So I want to share something I wrote on Instagram this week, and I'm going to read it. 1 year ago, I received a message I really needed to hear through a vivid dream. A majestic blue whale swam up to me on shore and told me it was safe to reemerge. It was safe to be seen. It was safe to use my voice and speak my truth. It was safe to authentically express the art of my heart. It was safe to serve my mission. And it was time. The time was now. At the time, I had been hiding in the depths, swimming through murky waters, and navigating heavy emotional currents. A few events had happened that resulted in me feeling like it was no longer safe to express myself authentically online. I had also just become a new mama, experiencing the polarized rebirth journey from maiden to mother while fully immersed in the postpartum fog. In the midst of it all, I decided it was safer to hide and suppress my authentic expression because the fear of judgment, ridicule, and perceived persecution became too heavy on my heart. Until this whale came to remind me that my purpose is more powerful than my fear, and the fear of how my truth is received and perceived is never a good reason to suppress myself nor my calling. By not showing up and not sharing my heart expression, I would not be doing what I am called to do and not serving the way I am meant to serve. From this point forward, I am showing up for my mission and the soul-aligned people I am here to serve in full devotion and authenticity. My mission is to help as many people as I can heal and liberate themselves from the inside out so that they can create a life of true north alignment, deep fulfillment, and freedom. And a huge part of this mission is to help ambitious visionaries, light leaders, paradigm shifters, and change makers rise up to their higher callings and be in higher service to the world through creating their own true north aligned, soulful, heart-centered businesses and speaking their own authentic truth. I will be using my platforms to serve my mission. My intention is to empower, inspire, uplift, motivate, and to also express myself authentically in all my imperfect humanness, while continuing to guide others towards their true north and self-liberation. I am so grateful for all of those beautiful souls who are in resonance with the art of my heart. I am also so grateful for all the beautiful souls who are not in resonance with the art of my heart, because you make me stronger and more resilient every single day. May we all unsuppress ourselves and reemerge to freedom together. And with that, until next time, thank you so much for joining me today.